Almost Heaven, West Virginia. The song lyrics are strangely loved and known by people all around the world, yet many have not witnessed the majestic mountains and spectacular beauty of our mountain state. 100 Things WV is a podcast about all things West Virginia, designed to go along with our newly published 100 Things to Do in West Virginia Before You Die book, part of a national book series by Reedy Press. Food, outdoor attractions, parks, festivals, breweries, books, boutiques, hotels, sporting events, museums, and more will be discussed in this bi-monthly podcast airing on Travel Tuesdays. I'm Melody Pittman, co-author of the book, established blogger and influencer, and new podcaster. I hope you'll join me. Hey everybody, I'm Melody. Welcome to episode 5 of 100 Things WV podcast. I'm coming at you from Mesquite today. It's 6 more days until I head to West Virginia for 4 months straight to do a book tour. Pretty excited about that. For now, I have the adorable Anna Cook as my special guest. Anna, can you introduce yourself and tell us about yourself?
Hey, yeah, I'm super happy to be here. So my name is Anna. I run the travel blog Stuck on the Go. It focuses on, small towns in the U.S. with a big focus on, the Southeast because I'm based in North Carolina. I do a lot of outdoor adventure stuff. And so I'm happy to be talking about, hiking in West Virginia today and snowboarding because my husband and I, we love it up there. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me. I guess I'm most active on Facebook and Instagram at Stuck on the Go. I just started posting on TikTok, so we'll see how that goes. Same handle at Stuck on the Go, and then Twitter as well.
Oh, good gravy. The kind made from real premium sausage. The kind that's smothered over deliciousness. The kind you can only get at Tudor's Biscuit World. That's the gravy that's oh so good. It's the perfect topping to your biscuits or your taters and even makes a delicious side. It's oh so good gravy. Tudor's Biscuit World. We're dripping with oh good gravy.
Okay, so Anna is part of our what we call hashtag STE family. And in the past 2 years, her career has just taken off. It's been fantastic to watch her grow. We're really proud of her. She's the real deal. So when you talk about authentic, that's Anna. And we love that. So Anna goes to West Virginia all the time. And so Taylor and I are always texting each other and saying, Anna's in West Virginia again. So anyway, we know you love the mountain state. We know you spend a lot of time, a lot of dollars there. So what's your favorite thing to do in West Virginia?
Yeah. So like I said, we absolutely love West Virginia. And I guess I started going often really when, I met Tyler and he loves whitewater rafting in West Virginia. He's a kayaker. And so we definitely go up there, in the summers for him to kayak. I would say, though, my favorite thing to do up there, gosh, I don't know. It's so hard, but I do love to hike.
Okay.
And so, I love the New River Gorge. I was happy, when they made it a national park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we love Snowshoe. We had a condo at Snowshoe for a couple of years that we rented out. And so, but yeah, I would say my favorite thing is to hike.
Okay. And your favorite hiking areas or paths?
So at New River Gorge, I have done the Long Point Trail, and that's the one where I think it's around 1.5 miles one way, but it's an out and back trail. And at the end of the trail, you have this gorgeous view of the bridge. And so, it's just absolutely beautiful. That one, and then Tyler and I recently did the Kmore Miners Trail, and that's a little bit different, but you get to see sort of the remains of that, I guess you'd call it a mining camp.
Right.
And so it's really, really neat, but it's a very difficult trail.
Okay.
I guess I, was not prepared for how strenuous it was going to be, but you are going down the side of the mountain and then you have to come back up.
Yeah.
So it's a short trail, but it is very difficult.
Okay.
Yes. The other area is in Blackwater Falls State Park. And honestly, the Canaan Valley area is so great for hiking because you've got Blackwater Falls, you've got Canaan Valley State Park, and then there's the Dolly Sods Wilderness area right there as well. But in Blackwater Falls State Park, of course, you've got the iconic Blackwater Falls hike. It's a very short hike, but it's almost all stairs. So if you have mobility issues, you will have to there's an overlook that you can stop at that's on the way to the main lodge. And that will be the best viewing area for the falls. But the trail will kind of take you down to where you're at eye level with the falls, because they're huge. I don't know how tall they are,
Right.
but I mean, they're really big. And so it's really impressive getting to stand there on that overlook.
Right. I did that one. I actually did that hike. And Angie, my co-author, she waited at the top because she had a knee issue. And so I went down to the bottom. This was right after pandemic. So August, I guess, of 2020. And the nice thing was I passed 3 people along the way, single people, and they were taking their pictures and all this sort of thing, not doing a very good job with selfies. And I was like, can I take your picture? And all of them had such a unique story. Like they were checking off a bucket list. One man was like 60 years old and he'd wanted to do all these hikes and state parks, national parks, and all this sort of thing his whole life. So he was just taking himself on a road trip to 10 states. I was like, how cool is that?
Oh, that is so cute.
And it gave me a reason to rest without like, acting like I was really uncool and couldn't make it. I'll take your picture.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stairs. I was surprised.
It is a nice platform though. I mean, anybody just to walk out to that big platform, that's really nice.
Yes, for sure. I mean, and so I've seen it in winter and in summer. And so when I visited in the winter, I think it was -6 degrees. Ooh. And almost the entire falls were frozen. But I will say the stairs, like the snow had basically packed down and rounded over. So the fall hazard there was enormous.
So out here, I'm near Zion. That's my closest national park. I'm 90 minutes from Zion. And Zion is all of a sudden, like, it was kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Utah parks for years. Then COVID hit and Zion's on fire. Like, it is packed all the time. So if you go during any time of the year, it's beautiful. But winter, oh my God, it's just exceptional. So like my numbers, whenever I share like a video or pictures, they're like 6 times more in the winter because the snow makes it look so pretty.
Oh my goodness. But the other waterfall there is Ellicala Falls. I mean, it's really pretty too. The trailhead for it starts at the lodge. And it's rated as moderate, but I don't remember it being that hard. Now, if you want to climb down to the base of the falls, then that takes a little bit of scrambling. But it's another really pretty waterfall that's, worth the hike.
So I'm curious, when you go to like the base of a waterfall, do you get in the water when you get there?
It depends. I mean, I usually try and look at like if there are any safety concerns, because like here in North Carolina, one of the popular waterfalls is Linville Falls, and you are not allowed to get in the water at the base of the falls because apparently like the water's so turbulent that like there are deaths, from people getting in. So if it's shallow, I'll get my feet wet and everything. The other thing is like, I don't love getting in the water and then having to hike out, in kind of like wet clothes and everything. I don't know. I just don't like that feeling.
I was in Coney County down to see Ken, and Eddie and I did what was supposed to be a moderate hike. It was like way more than moderate. It was really, really tough. And I'd screwed up my medicine. So like I had not had blood pressure medicine in 28 days. I didn't know this until I thought I was going to die getting out of there. But it was summer. It was hot. And we just go like this. Okay, we're driving along. We're going to go shopping. No, let's go do this hike. Okay. So we hike down there. I don't have anything to drink, nothing at all. Eddie brings a water bottle with him. I have nothing. So I get down there and I'm like literally cupping the water, and it's so clean. I mean, it was good water. So I fill it up and I take my shirt off, I get my shirt wet, put my shirt back on. So at least I'm cool hiking out, So,
oh my gosh. That wasn't Yellow Branch Falls, was it?
It was Yellow Branch.
I saw that y'all did that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a pretty tough one.
Yeah, especially when you had not prepared for it and, like you had your medicine wrong. But, like when I get up to the top and I'm heaving, laying on a picnic table, I'm like, okay, something is wrong. Like I'm not this out of shape. Like what's going on? Yeah, that's when I found out. After when we started RVing, literally I'd gotten some medicine in West Virginia. It's a different color. So I had 2 of like cholesterol pill and no blood pressure pill.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh God. Yeah. So live and learn. Okay. So you are on another note, you're a snowboarder, not a skier, a snowboarder. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Okay. My husband is the skier and I snowboard. I mean, not well, but I do it.
And so have you been to 3 ski resorts in West Virginia or all 4?
So I have personally gone snowboarding at Snowshoe and Winter Place, but I've gone with Tyler when he
Mhm.
has gone up to Timberline and
Mhm.
Canaan Valley Ski Resort. Those
Okay.
are like right beside each other.
Right.
But I haven't, done any of the slopes
So
up
on
there.
a just first impressions without doing the slopes, just like what it looks like, which one of those is the more wow factor?
Wow factor would definitely be Snowshoe. I mean,
Okay.
Snowshoe is it's going to be the best snow, the best mountain. I mean, it is the best ski resort in the Southeast for sure.
Hmm.
But
And I've
you
never
pay for
been.
that.
And I've never been. Like seriously, I've never been to Snowshoe. Like I'm going to remedy that this summer.
I know. Yes, I mean you definitely need to. That's like an iconic West
I
Virginia
know.
location.
So Snowshoe, great snowboarding. And can you tell me about the lodge, or for people who don't know anything about the lodge like me, or staying there? What's that like?
At Snowshoe, instead of I guess like the traditional like one lodge, it is a village and it's almost got like a European flair kind of.
Hmm.
And so there are multiple different, I guess, lodging options in the village and then at the base of the mountain.
Okay.
So when we had a condo up there, it was in Mountain Lodge.
Hmm.
And that is sort of it's at the top of Ball Hooter Lift. The
Okay.
other thing about Snowshoe is it's sort of like inverted from typical ski resorts because the village is at the top of the mountain.
Oh,
And
okay.
usually
Yeah.
with ski resorts, the village is at the bottom. But yeah, there are lots of great lodging options, in the village. The ones that are really nice are Allegheny Springs. I think Rimfire is pretty nice.
I've heard about that
Um,
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are like, I mean, right there in the immediate village. There's lots of shopping opportunities there.
Okay.
If you're on a budget, though, you can still do Snowshoe. We have actually stayed at Elk River Inn, which is about 20 minutes from the village.
Hmm.
And then we've also actually stayed in Marlinton when
Okay.
we were on a very strict
Yeah.
budget. Well, we stayed at the Old Clark Inn and gosh, I cannot remember. I mean, we went to like this little pizza place. And then the last time that we stayed there, they had recently opened like a little bar
Okay.
beside the pizza place. And so
Right.
those are kind of like the main places that we
Right.
went. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any memorable meals at Snowshoe when you were there?
So I love the Sunset Cantina.
Okay.
Mainly because it's Mexican food. I love their chicken burrito.
Hmm.
It's so good. I also love Old Spruce Brewing, and they have, I think, Old Spruce Tavern is the one located in the village. That one just has I don't know, like sandwich stuff, and they do carry the Old Spruce beer. But down at Silver Creek, which is like the smaller mountain that Snowshoe
Hmm.
also owns, they have a full-fledged tap room and they have really good bar food down
Okay.
there.
This sounds very much like Disney. Like I feel like it's Disney transportation and things. So anyway, when I go, that's what I'm going to compare it to. So do you have articles on your website about Snowshoe or about any of these hikes that you've done?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So I have a couple articles about, I think one is Things to Do in Davis, West Virginia,
Okay.
which is where
Cute
Blackwater
town.
Falls is located.
Right.
Yep. Oh my gosh, Davis is so cute.
Yes.
And then, yes, I have a few about Snowshoe. I actually have one about lodging at Snowshoe, where to stay,
Okay.
and, how to do Snowshoe on a budget. So the only other thing I think we were going to talk about was a little
Hmm.
bit about Winter Place.
Yeah, sure.
And I just want to mention that if you have never gone skiing or snowboarding, Winter
Right.
Place is the place to learn.
Right.
Because I mean it's much cheaper. At Snowshoe, you're gonna pay between $150 to $200 for a lift ticket, per
Right.
day.
Right.
At Winter Place, they have like a package that
Right.
includes your lift ticket, rentals, and a lesson,
Okay.
and it's $135, all of
That's
that
great.
together.
I used to
Um,
take my Girl Scouts to Winter Place, and my kids went to Charleston Catholic, and they had a ski team at Winter Place. So, like one night a week, they went up to Winter Place, and I think it is still the only place in West Virginia that has nighttime tubing, and that brings a lot of people out. The nighttime
oh,
tubing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's so easy
Yep.
to get to. Like, hop off the exit and you're there in 5 minutes. So that's very nice.
That is a big difference in, I guess, Winter Place and all the other ski resorts in West Virginia, because I mean, you're exactly right.
Right.
Winter Place is so easy to get to, but the other ones, you're going to be on the back roads
Right.
for a little while, which I mean, we love that. I mean,
Me
because
too.
gosh, it's so pretty up there. I mean, what you had asked about, if I have any like hints or tips about,
Right.
getting outdoors. One of the major ones is there is no cell service in a lot of these areas, because it is the, what is it, like National Radio Quiet Zone.
Right.
And so, yes, there's absolutely no cell phone service. So, I mean, Tyler and I will just have fun and like navigate by map and everything, but you literally do need to like know where
Right.
you're going and know how to do that. So,
Right. So when I travel with Sarah will be like, "Oh, here's the sun. We're going this direction." I mean, I can figure that out after a while, but probably not just in the middle of the day. Like, she's really good at that. Well, I thank you so much for being on here, and thank you so much for supporting West Virginia and for buying the book. Appreciate that.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I love it so far. We've
awesome.
read a
You.
little of it.
Have you been to Camden Park?
No.
It's very cheesy, but it's an over 100-year-old amusement park with a wooden coaster. It's just, if you were my age or your parents' age or your grandparents' ages, that's where you went. You went to Camden Park, right outside of Huntington. You can also like add on some of Kentucky right there. Ashland, Kentucky's kind of like booming right now. So, and Huntington always has some nice things to do. But anyway, it's just an iconic place that I think you would really love. And there's also the abandoned amusement park, maybe in is it Lost Creek? I can't remember where that abandoned amusement park is, but it's on my list for the summer.
Yes. So my sister's very into like haunted stuff, I am not. I don't love that. But my sister really wants me to go to that. So I don't know. She might talk me into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go because the pictures look great. And the only time I've ever seen people take pictures of an abandoned amusement park is Europe. And I've had about 6 friends go to one, maybe over near Poland or something. So I've seen that particular park a lot, but we have one in West Virginia.
That's
okay.
awesome.
Well, you have
That's
a
so
great
fun.
rest of the week. And thank you so much for being on.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Bye. Today, we're talking with an old and dear friend. Not that he's old, but we were both wearing readers, I think.
So yes, these are readers.
Jere Gaeger. And Jerry has been a longtime friend. He and my husband worked together. I think we've probably known each other for 20 years or more.
It's 20 years, yeah, at
least.
Guessing.
Yeah. And Jerry, what is your job in Charleston? Not that matters.
Well, I'm a key account manager for Pepsi-Cola. So I handle college, universities, vending companies, and hospitals.
Okay.
Which allows me to do my favorite thing, which is go to Marshall University football.
That's just for Jerry right there. Actually, I was with my dad on a road trip and I stopped in Huntington and I was like, I'm going to try to get a picture of something Marshall related. So I walk up and the gate is open. So I go all the way into the stadium. Nobody stops me. My dad's like, you're going to get arrested. And I'm like, oh no, like I'm a woman over 50. Sometimes it's just okay. So I meet this guy and I'm like, I just want to take some pictures. I'm working on a book and all this stuff. Oh, take all you want. See anything you want. So I was like, wow. So I got some primo pictures.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, they actually leave the football gates open and you could have walked into the Shuey building. They've got all kinds of neat jerseys and stuff for the different players that have played at Marshall that are now in the pros. So it's pretty neat in there. It's kind of like a little museum.
Right. So Jerry graduated from Marshall. And did Jamie graduate from Marshall too?
She did not. She went to Marshall, but she graduated from West Virginia State.
Okay. So they both literally bleed green. They know everything that has to do with Marshall. And I've been tailgating with them before, and it is very fun. So, Jerry, tell us something about Marshall. And if you can, like, if you could offer maybe like best seats where you like to sit at a game, any like tailgating advice or anything for coming to Huntington and seeing a Marshall game.
Sure. So the best place to tailgate at Marshall, they're very receptive to people tailgating, which is great. The best place is the West lot, which is the main lot in front of the stadium. They have season passes, but you can get game by game parking there as well. Okay. There's all kinds of lots around there, Melody. The bank on the corner of 20th Street and 3rd Avenue is a great place to park as well. A good place to go before the game is Fat Patty's. It's a little local restaurant / bar, which is right there beside the stadium. One of the great things about Marshall Stadium is that it doesn't take long to get from where you park to the stadium. and a lot of stadiums, a lot of bigger schools, it takes forever to park and walk. I mean, you go to a WU game, for instance, and it's a half hour at least walk to the stadium. We're kind of spoiled in Huntington that it's not that bad. So it's a great place to watch a game, a great place to tailgate. And real quick fun fact, it's the only stadium in the country that's named after a woman.
Oh, I did not know that. That's a great fun fact.
Joan C. Edwards Stadium.
Okay. I'll be using that. I'm going to do some West Virginia trivia on some book events. I'll be using that for sure.
There you go. Absolutely.
So back to Fat Patty's. Have you ever had the raspberry popper burger there?
I have not. I tend to stick with the regular, just the Fat Patty burger and customize it or get a chicken sandwich, but no, I have. And then obviously partake in the bar drinks, but
okay, you might have had one of those before. Okay. So when you were at Marshall, let's just go back a long time ago.
Okay.
I mean, you're not that old, but when you were at Marshall, where were the places you used to hang out?
So the bars that I used to go to are gone. So the Varsity, which has moved down on 4th Avenue, which was a great little.
And I know that location. Right.
Yep. And then the Double Dribble, which was right beside it. So those were the two. And then the Boney's Hole in the Wall, which was the last one, which was across from Towers. So those were the 3 bars that we tended to go to. There was a local place called the Derby Club that we would venture into sometimes. It was an after-hours bar down in near Owens, Illinois. But those are the 3 that my fraternity brothers and I usually haunted while we were at Marshall.
So I was a regular at Gumby's. Did you ever go to
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie's the same way when she went there. She said that she used to go to Gumby's. I honestly, I don't know if it was if it had. I don't think it was even open because I went in 83 to 87.
Okay. So, it probably didn't open until about 89. But it was so much fun. Oh my God. Like I used to have a blast there. And then we'd go to Ward's Donuts and get donuts around midnight. That was a big deal back in the early 90s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That place was always funny. They had that urban legend that if the hot sign was on, that means that there were ladies that you could talk to.
Yes, exactly. I remember that. Yeah. That's fun. I like the throwback picture you shared not very long ago of you playing lacrosse. Was that lacrosse?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was actually a picture from an article in high school that they had written about me. And when I grew up in the suburbs of Baltimore. So that's why I know how to play lacrosse. Obviously, lacrosse is not really a West Virginia sport. We're trying to make it that it is, but it's really not.
So you were instrumental in bringing lacrosse because lacrosse is in West Virginia. So can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah. And I don't want to take the credit for bringing it to the state. Honestly, the northern part of the state was much more involved in lacrosse for a long time. For instance, WVU's had a lacrosse team for 53 years, but I helped to get the George Washington team going. I helped on the first year. I coached. My kids were young and obviously not playing high school lacrosse, but I like lacrosse so much. Our family is a lacrosse family. I just thought it would be something that the Valley needed, and it's grown a little bit more. We've got a few more schools that are playing it, and GW just went out to Arizona and played in a tournament out there and was pretty successful. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're building it, so it's a good thing going on here.
So you have 2 boys, Jarrett and Jack, and they both play lacrosse. Is that correct?
Okay. Yeah, they both for WVU. Yeah, they both play for the Mountaineers. So both of them, they like lacrosse so much. We spent a lot of time and money, Jamie and I, traveling because, again, West Virginia really isn't that much of a lacrosse hotbed. So they played club ball in the summer for a Lynchburg, Virginia team. Okay. So we spent a lot of time on the road. We did a lot of tournaments and camps and things like that. So they've both been blessed that they're pretty good athletes, and they've really kind of taken to the game. The one, Jack, the younger, is a goalie, which is the craziest position to play. I mean, you have to be a little bit off your kilter to want to have people shoot at you. And then Jared's
the second child. Isn't he the second child? There you go.
Exactly. So he's a little bit, he's built for it. And then Jarrett plays attack, so he's one of the guys that try to score at least. Okay. They've both kind of taken to it. They've helped teach kids. They've given lessons. Jack's going to be working with a kid this summer from GW, trying to help him with his goalie skills. So they both really love it.
So it's great that they ended up there together. So how cool is that for you as a parent?
Oh, well, really good. So Jarrett started, both of them had interest from other schools. I don't want to knock my kids, but they were relatively lazy when it came to playing D1 lacrosse or any sport is a job. And so I was concerned about them getting good grades, which they both really are doing, and I'm so happy for them. But they wanted to go in more of a relaxed atmosphere. So it broke their dad's heart that they went to WVU, but I understand because the Mountaineers have a good program. We play in a national club league. We play South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, so we play a lot of big teams, and they love it. And it's more of a laid back, kind of atmosphere. It used to be more of a beer drinking club, but in the last 7 or 8 years, they've really kind of turned the corner. They're wanting to become a D1 program.
Okay, that's
At
awesome.
WVU. Yeah, because they have so West Virginia had most of the kids that go there are from Virginia, North Carolina, or New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, which are big lacrosse areas. So they have the kids there. It's just a lot of it has to do with Title IX. You have to add a women's sport if you're going to add a men's sport. The girls' club team is not very, very aggressive. So
So fun fact, I know. So I met Jerry because we owned a vending company, and he was our Pepsi rep.
That's
so we sold a lot of Pepsi products.
You did.
So just to like change it up for a minute. So Jerry would come to our house, and at that time we were Diet Coke drinkers. We've switched back and forth. I was even Diet Dr. Pepper. Was that a Pepsi product?
Well, we don't own it, but we distribute it in West Virginia.
Okay, so like we've gone all through them all. But anyway, anytime Jerry was coming to our house, we had to have Pepsi or Diet Pepsi on hand because that's a respectful thing to do. So fun fact, when my daughter graduated from high school at GW, I don't even know what year it is. How bad is that? I'm that mother. We had a big party, and we had a steel drum band from WVU come. And so our Pepsi rep and our Coke rep, which were two of our very best friends, were there. And, like they're the competition. So here they are.
Yep.
They literally put on grass skirts and had a dance off. Coke versus Pepsi. And I would love to have had a recording of that because that was so much fun. You and John Miller. God, that was such a special
Well, let's just say I'm glad you did. But it was fun. John was a good guy, and I, business is business. I don't take that stuff personally, so it was nice to meet him, and he was always a good person to talk to.
But it was fun, and we appreciate you were around for a lot of our business functions, a lot of like really special moments. So that was awesome. Do you know how much it costs to see a game?
It's free. It's absolutely free. Yeah, and they play at the rec center. So at WVU you have that beautiful recreation center. We play on the AstroTurf field behind it. If you want to come see a lacrosse game, I think it's the most exciting game to watch. I mean, I played football as well, but lacrosse is there's just something about it. It's on ESPN Plus all the time on the weekends. Right now, right now they're in the middle of the season, so it's a lot of great college games going on. My niece plays for Robert Morris. My nephew plays for Jacksonville. My other two nephews played at Towson, so we have a lot of lacrosse in the Gaeger family.
Yeah. So you had mentioned rock climbing. I don't know anybody in my whole life who's ever gone rock climbing. Like I'm 54 years old and have never met anybody. So you mentioned that. Let's talk about rock climbing.
Well, honestly, I don't know a lot about it. I just know that I enjoy watching those guys. I think they're absolutely crazy.
Right.
Here in West Virginia, we are blessed with a lot of places that they climb. Jamie and I do a lot of hiking. So a lot of the places that we do hike, especially in the New River Gorge, there's those walls are just free to climb all over. You can climb wherever you want, in essence. The New River Gorge is the latest national park in the United States, and it attracts people from all over for many things. But rock climbing is one of them. And it's funny, I kind of saw a thing on the news the other day that said that the rock climbing business in West Virginia has brought in over $1 billion a year, which if you think about it, is amazing. Wow. So all the different, the add-on things, people getting hotels and restaurants and all that kind of stuff, the way they calculate that. There's a couple in Fayetteville, there's a real big rock climbing business. I mean, it's kind of like a ski shop for rock climbing. So, I mean, it really is a big thing here in West Virginia. We're blessed with the environment that we have. We're finally getting smart about promoting the outdoors in West Virginia. Taking care of it, promoting it, and bringing people in. Tourism is really starting to boom in the state, which is good for us.
Right. I don't think they've ever needed any help with whitewater rafting because, like, seriously, it's the best whitewater rafting anywhere. And
it is.
I get invited a lot to go whitewater rafting on press trips and things, and just asking about it, or even in Panama, like where we are in Panama, they have whitewater rafting, and it's like Class 2 rapids. Snooze.
Exactly. Yeah, the Class 5s are crazy, and with gully season, they had that season where they draw the water down out of Summersville Lake, and on the weekends it's out of control. People from all over the world come here to. And Eddie and I actually did it the one time, and we were staying by the Red Bull skydiving team was renting the house beside ours. So I mean, it's kind of neat that all the people that come here for that. Yeah,
I think you might have been on the trip too, where he took all those new people, business owners and things, on that same trip. And
no, I wasn't on that.
Never even whitewater rafted in their life, and they literally I think like 7 of them were first timers, and they do that. God. Yeah, and I was like, what if they die? Like, we need like a disclaimer or something like that, Like,
they go out of their way to tell you that you possibly could on this trip when you're on the bus on the way heading to the river. So.
Oh God. Well, I'm excited. Adventures on the Gorge has invited me to come up there, and I've never stayed there. I've just driven through the property.
Love it.
So I'm really anxious. It looks wonderful.
Yeah, it really is.
I know they have some kind of designation or something, or some kind of like, I don't know. They boast the title of being like the best outdoor recreation center, like basically on the East Coast. So, or
I wouldn't, I
more
wouldn't,
offerings. So
yeah,
that's
I wouldn't doubt it. What they did, so back when the was struggling, the whitewater business was struggling a little bit when the economies were down about 20 years ago. 3 or 4 of them went together
mhm.
and merged and became one big powerhouse. Their
Right.
property is beautiful. They have everything in the world that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
It really is, and we're blessed to be an hour from it. So
Right.
in
Right.
Charleston, so
Right.
it's really really. It was funny. My company, we had a company outing, and they still talk about it. We went whitewater rafting on the gully,
Yeah.
and people were still amazed that number one, HR would even sign off on it. Well, we didn't tell them, but everybody's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys did that." So
That's awesome though. But it's a West Virginia thing. Like, you got to
yeah,
experience that. So,
yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you haven't done it, it's just the sound of that water is just amazing.
so
Yeah, no,
Jerry and his wife Jamie are powerhouses. They literally can do everything. They're so talented. They get out and see everything. And they're some of my favorite travelers, some of my favorite parents too. In case somebody hasn't told you, like, what a great parent you are today,
well, thank
I'll be
you.
the one to tell you that.
Well,
So
thank you.
you've done something really special that I've always loved hearing about, but I've never done it. Sleeping in the train car. Can you tell me
Oh
what
yeah.
that is and how you go about doing that?
Yeah, so there's a couple different places you can do it. You can do it in Durban, West Virginia. You can
Okay.
sign up to do the train car, and then also through Cass, and they'll
Mhm.
take you up to the top of the mountain up there and leave you for the night. It's such a cool experience. I mean, there's nobody around.
Right.
They have a little kitchenette in there, and they have a picnic table outside, and that has a bathroom in the train car. But
Right.
it's really really neat. I tell you, Melody, it's something.
What do you have to bring with you to do that trip?
You could just your clothes and any
Okay.
food that you want to eat and drinks
Okay.
and
So like
snacks. Yeah,
linens and everything are there?
yeah, they take care
Okay.
of that. Yeah,
Okay. And then do you know about how far you have to book to get book in advance?
it's pretty in advance. I mean,
Right.
it's that they only have the one train car, and
Right.
they only do it in certain months of the year when it's not too cold, because obviously up on top Cheat Mountain it gets pretty
Right.
cold at night. So
Yeah.
they don't do it in the wintertime. But yeah, it's an experience. It's kind of a unique thing. I'm sure they do it in other places, but it's a West Virginia thing.
Mhm.
There's so many neat things in this state that you can do.
Right.
And
Right.
there's one that we're going to do real quick. And I just wanted to let you know
Yeah, yeah.
have you ever heard of the Sinks of Gandy?
I have not.
So it's in Gandy, West Virginia. It is actually a place where the river goes underground
Mhm.
for a half a mile, and you can literally walk through this cave in the river. It's only about ankle deep.
Oh, wow, that's neat.
You just have to bring a flashlight, or wear a
Right.
headlamp, and then and it's on private property, but they don't mind you doing it,
Wow.
and you can walk through. It's just such a neat thing to do, and it's
That
so
sounds
again,
really neat.
so West Virginia.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And thanks for taking time out for me to be on the podcast.
Absolutely, Melody. It was
Hey,
my pleasure.
have a good weekend.
Tell Eddie I said hi.
I will do. Thanks.
Bye bye.
You can follow along on our social channels at 100ThingsWV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can hear our podcast wherever you get your podcasts under 100 Things WV. We hope you'll subscribe.